I finally decided to film a makeup tutorial. It is probably the worst, most shocking, horrendous makeup tutorial you've ever seen in the whole life of YouTube, but it's mine. I'm not a professional, I'm some average person sat in her average room doing her average makeup in the wrong order with the wrong techniques, but it's the way that I do it. I get bored with one thing and then I just do something else in the middle. The only thing I tend to change up quite often is the colour of the eyeshadow and obviously the lipstick, but the rest of the technique is pretty much the same as what I always do, and it may be wrong and you can tell me that it's wrong, but here is the worst makeup tutorial in the world. So I decided to do a voiceover because it's just much easier to film a tutorial without having to talk and stuff. So at the moment, as you can see, I'm just applying my moisturiser and I've actually mixed it with a Rimmel primer. I tend to mix the two together because I just find it's just one less step in my makeup routine. Obviously, as you can see, my skin is looking absolutely hideous. I've got really big pimples. If you guys watched my video last week, you'll see the pimples anyway. And I'm just kind of rubbing everything into my face. I don't know why I'm still going. I'm obviously covering my ears because I don't want to look like Noddy. Yep, let's just straighten out the hair and let's get back to the face again, Trisha. Why are you wasting time for? And then I think there was some hair on my face, so you can see I look really, really unimpressed with that. So now I'm trying to apply the foundation. Yes, thicker, it might be easier if you actually open it before you try and pump it on your hand. So I'm using two foundations. One is Studio Fix NW35 and one is Studio Fix NC42. I don't know why, but these are just the two foundations I really like, and obviously as you can see I'm just covering up the majority of the pimples on my face first. So anywhere I can see lots of redness, I tend to just dab that all in first, and then I'm going to take my beauty blender in just a moment and it's damp beauty blender, so I'm going to take that and just make sure that everything's kind of blotted in. I obviously, as you can see, I'm applying quite a lot of foundation because my skin just looks terrible. I have dampened my beauty blender first, and as you can see I'm just kind of patting it all down so everything kind of blends in really nicely. I think I ended up doing a second layer of this because it just is really, really hard to cover my skin at the moment. I do actually have a doctor's appointment in a couple of weeks to see if they can do anything about my skin. But the foundation process is obviously taking a little bit longer as my skin is just not looking in the best condition. So do that first. I'm actually not sure what I think about these voiceovers. I'm not really sure what you guys think, or if you're just really bored. And I can't believe I'm still applying my foundation. I don't know how other people film this sort of thing. Like, I swear they've done the whole makeup look by now, and I'm still trying to cover up my face with foundation. I know a lot of it is like sped up. Oh my god, now my phone's beeping. I know a lot of it is sped up, and I know a lot of the times that people will kind of miss out bits, but I think I just wanted you guys to see like as much of this as possible, because a lot of people kind of keep thinking that my skin is looking quite clear, and to be honest it's not, and I just have to go through quite a lengthy process in order to obviously cover up my under eye circles and obviously to cover up the blemishes on my face. Sometimes if I'm going out and it's going to be like a bit of a heavier makeup look, I do tend to put a second layer of foundation, which I know a lot of you are thinking, oh my god, don't do that, it's really bad for your skin. But I do feel like I need to just cover it up. So a second layer usually helps kind of cover up the redness. And then after that I can go in with just the concealer. So the next thing I'm using is my Bobbi Brown corrector in Peach. I absolutely love this corrector. The only thing I think is a problem with it is I don't think there's enough of it in the container. I think like you pay a lot of money for a product and like you look in there and there's like this tiny little slitherine of like product in there, which is really annoying. I've got two on the go at the moment and they both seem to have almost hit pan at the same time, so they don't last very long, but it is a very, very good product, and although I'm complaining about it, I still probably would purchase this again as soon as I run out of it. So I'm just going around my nose because I've got little dark patches around my nose and around my mouth area as well, and then what I'm going to do is go in with an actual concealer for my face. I think this is an NW35, which matches my foundation, and I tend to go over the bumps on my skin because it's, although I've got a layer of foundation on my face, it doesn't seem to cover everything up completely, so I tend to go back in with a concealer which is obviously slightly thicker and just cover up some pimples and till it looks kind of as clear as I can get it. And then the next thing I want to do is go in and cover up my under eye circles. And the one product I'm going to use to cover up my under eye circles is my Kevyn Aucoine Sensual Skin Enhancer. I think it's S09 or S11, I can't remember, but I'll put it in the description bar below. I like this because it's like a yellow based concealer. I think it's actually meant to be a foundation, but with this product you really don't need a lot and it'll last like absolutely ages, and as you can see it covers up like a massive patch on my face. I tend to put like a little blob on the end of my finger and then mish it between my two fingers and then use each finger to cover up one eye. It covers up really well, and then I sort of just blend it in so it doesn't look, I know it obviously looks like a completely different colour, but I do need something a lot brighter in order to cover up my under eye circles. And then whatever's left I use the same thing on the other eye. I absolutely love this, and I'm a bit weird because I really like the smell of it as well, but as you can see it's yellow based. It just really brightens up the whole area, and it's a really amazing product. It's very expensive. I want to say that little tub that I had was about £47, but to be honest it's probably going to last me years because I can't see me getting through it that quickly. And it's one of the products I have changed recently because I wasn't using it in my last tutorial and I hadn't really got it. I haven't had it for very long, and a lot of you have been wondering what I've been using under my eyes. This is basically in combination with the Bobbi Brown corrector in peach and this, and that is how I'm now covering up my under eye circles. Whenever I do a makeup tutorial, whenever I am filming, whenever I go out, it's the same procedure and the same technique that I'm using. And I'm feeling at the moment with my skin looking the way that it is, I'm having to use something a little bit heavier. So now I'm going in with Artist of Makeup Contour Stick, and obviously like every other person on Instagram and every other girl in the world that watches makeup tutorials, we're all watching these weird lines all over our faces. So I've been trying this out with a couple of makeup products that I have, and actually I did buy the contour and highlight stick from the Artist of Makeup brand because I saw the stand at IMATS. I absolutely loved it, and then I saw people on YouTube and kind of how they used it and was like, well, I want to look like them, so I'm going to start applying makeup like they do. And I have to say it's a very long process to do this, and I wouldn't recommend that you do this every day because it's so time consuming. And I know I look like an absolute twat, but basically I just want to be like all the other girls on Instagram, and I'm not joking, like I have to kind of put in the effort to look like some of them. I have got extra stuff to cover up on my face, which is a bit of a nightmare, and then you can see me struggling here trying to blend it all out. So I don't understand how it dries on my face really quickly and then doesn't seem to dry on other people's faces that quickly. But I like the end result. So like I said, my makeup tutorial is like a mishmash of like everything I tend to do on a not daily basis, but things that I tend to do, especially when I'm going out filming tutorials. But although it looks like a complete mess on my face right now, I do generally like the outcome of it, and I do like using a brighter highlighter like down my nose and everything like that. So you guys can tell me what you think. Actually, I'm sure like you'll all have an opinion on my makeup and just how awful it is and just my technique, but you know, I think contouring is very much in at the moment, and yes, when you're eating cheese and chocolate every single day, it does make a difference to your face. But here's me just blending out the rest of my makeup, and obviously I have to use a different brush for the highlighter. I don't think the beauty blender ended up working, so I ended up thinking I picked something else to blend it out with because I got fed up. So then I looked for a brush, and then I started blending it out with a brush because it worked much better. You can still see the pimples through my makeup, which is like really upsetting because I didn't have a lot of that before. And as the highlighter dried, it just became harder and harder and harder to blend out, and now I've just got streaky lines on my face, and I can't believe people are still watching this. People have probably stopped watching ages ago, but this is how I do my makeup. So then I wanted to do my eyebrows, and I'm using a palette by Whitening Lightning. I think a lot of stuff on YouTube is completely hyped up because I honestly think with this you can actually just use a brown eyeshadow and it would work absolutely fine. I guess the only advantage I've got with this is it's got the wax in it as well, which you can get in a lot of eyebrow kits anyway. But I don't remember spending a lot of money on this, but I remember thinking I could have just used a brown eyeshadow for this. So if you have a brown eyeshadow, don't go out and get stuff for your eyebrows because honestly I don't think you need it. I'm just, you know, jumping on the YouTube bandwagon hype and just seem to be buying everything that people recommend, which now I've stopped doing because I really don't think you need to. And But yeah, this is how I do my eyebrows. I do them very quickly. I'm kind of rushing at it, but this is how I do it in real life. So I just get a pencil brush and I literally fill in the spaces so that my brows just look that little bit thicker and a little bit darker. The most difficulty I have doing my brows is number one, getting them even, but I don't think they need to look exactly the same. Or number two, just getting the inside bit to look a little bit better. So that's basically how quickly I do my eyebrows. I don't really spend much time doing that at all. I'm now putting on my Ben Nye banana powder to kind of set all the highlight stuff with, because people told me to buy it. And again, I don't know if I would, because I've got translucent powders that cost me a lot less money. But again, I'm kind of really enjoying the way that my makeup's working out. I just think there might be cheaper alternatives. And yeah, I kind of forgot at this point where I put the highlighted stuff and where I put the contoured stuff, so I was just ended up kind of just going all over my face. But what this does do is help out blend out that transition between my under eye concealer and my actual face makeup, so that it doesn't look like there's big like colour difference between them. But I do generally like how my under eyes look with this method, because I feel like I can conceal things a little bit better with this method. So just finished doing all the highlighting under there, and now I'm taking this gorgeous palette by Suva Beauty, and I was very kindly sent this in the post by my gorgeous friend Shayna, and I'm taking this as a contour colour. It's actually a contour colour in the palette, but you can also, I actually think I used it as an eyeshadow later on, but because you can use the palette because it has a highlight and a contour, it's actually an eyeshadow palette, but you can use it for basically everything, and it's amazing. And the colours in this palette are stunning, and the pigmentation of this palette is absolutely stunning, and I'm definitely a big fan. I'm so glad she sent me this palette, and I absolutely love the way that everything came out. And then you can use the same colours for eyeshadow, which I think I did as well, because it's multitasking, and who doesn't like a palette that does lots of different stuff. So I'm taking my NARS Eater brush and just doing my forehead line to make myself look slightly slimmer, to make my forehead look slightly smaller, and to basically just generally contour my face and just exaggerate the bones. Look at my skin, like even though I've covered it, you can still see through it. This is why I don't like making makeup tutorials, because it just looks awful. No wonder people don't like my tutorials. It took me a little bit of time to blend everything out because I felt like the line was too harsh, but actually I don't know why I'm blowing on the brush. I'm really sorry. Like, let's just move on to the next thing. So this is what I meant by doing things in a random order. So I'm taking the Suva palette again, and I'm now doing some random eyeshadow underneath my eyes. I don't know what possessed me to do this after I've contoured. I haven't done any blush, I haven't done anything with my eyeshadow, and now I'm just putting random brown lines underneath my eyes. So I do things in very odd orders, but hopefully it will all come together at the end. I'm having a quick check in the mirror just to make sure I know what I'm doing. And I just wanted the line to be a little bit darker, so I'm just placing a little bit of black brown eyeshadow underneath my eyes. And then I don't remember what I did next, because I filmed this like a week ago, and I'm not sure why I'm still going under it and what I'm doing. But yeah, this is just the way that I do my makeup, and I'm sorry, like the tutorial just looks like this, and I'm making random faces. And now I don't know what I'm doing, so let me find a bit where I know what I'm doing. Oh, hang on, I'm holding something up. What was that? I'm holding up some lip balm. Oh yeah, okay, because my lips are quite crusty at the moment, as you can see. And obviously there's like foundation all over my lips at the moment. So yeah, Trisha, just hurry up, get a move on. So now I'm taking my Suva Beauty eyeshadow base, which is absolutely amazing. It dries really quickly, so you do have to work quite hard when you're applying it. But it just ensures that your eyeshadows do not budge absolutely anywhere. So I'm just applying that on both eyelids very quickly before I move on to my eyeshadow. So then I take the same palette again and take the slightly darker brown this time. And when I applied this all over my actual eyelid area, I realised I probably should have gone in with like a natural skin colour first. Because what I found was, because the base was so good, I found it really hard to actually blend the eyeshadow out. So what I would do next time is put like a skin colour eyeshadow all over the lid first, and then it would have been so much easier to blend this eyeshadow out. So as you can see, I'm just applying the shadow all over the lid on the second eye, and then I'll go straight back to blending in just a second. So I'm trying to use the equivalent of a MAC 219 brush to blend this out, and as you can see I was struggling like an absolute mofo, so then I had to go in with a lighter colour and almost use that as a slight transition colour because it just was not blending out the eyeshadow. That means the eyeshadow base works amazingly and works literally like glue at holding the eyeshadow to my eye. So like I said, next time what I would do is put an all over skin colour down, and then it was much easier once I picked a second colour to blend it out. Obviously looking at it compared to the other eye, you can see that the colour is blending out and the pigment of the colour is amazing for the eyeshadow. So I think it's partly the fact that it's a really good eyeshadow palette and also the fact that the base is actually really good. It's just like glue, like it literally sticks that eyeshadow to my eyelid, and it was amazing. So I'm really enjoying using this palette at the moment, and I will put the link in the description bar below for where you can buy the palette, but I absolutely love it and I think the colours are absolutely stunning from this palette. So then I'm taking MAC's eyeshadow palette, well actually no, I made this myself, so MAC's eyeshadow in rice paper, which I think is an absolutely favourite highlight of mine. I have probably about 3 of these running at a go, so I've one in a little handheld quad palette, I've got one stuck to this little CD thing that I made a really long time ago, and I've got like a standalone kind of single one because I just generally find I get through this really quickly, and I also use it as an inner corner highlighter as well as using it under my brows. Sometimes if I feel like it, I kind of use it down the nose and actually as a face highlight as well. Next thing I'm doing is applying my blush, and this is one of my favourite blushes by MAC, and it's actually Breath of Plum. You'll have seen me use this in loads of makeup tutorials before. Obviously because I'm just weird, I'm not finished on my eyeshadow, but I'm just going straight to my lips now. So my favourite MAC lip liner is Plum. I basically use this with every single look that I do. It's the one that just plumps up my lips a little bit, it gives it a bit of definition around the lips, and for some reason I seem to use every single lipstick with it as well. So I'm doing that just to define my Cupid's bow and define the edges of my lips, and then I'm actually going to apply a Bobbi Brown lipstick, I think in Raspberry. So I'm just blending out the edge of the liner with my finger, and it just makes it look a little bit less harsh. I dabbed some of the lip balm off beforehand because it just got really like sloppy all over my lips. And I'm trying to open this Bobbi Brown, and it's really pretty. It's actually used it for my sister's civil wedding when it was her wedding, and I posted a picture of it on Instagram. But I really love this lipstick. It is a matte lipstick and it does basically stay on all day, and I really like it. And it's Bobbi Brown and it's just a matte lipstick and it's so pretty. So just going to do the top lips as well. I don't know why I'm saying lips like I've got more than one lip. But it's just a really pretty colour, and then once I've done that I'll go back in and hopefully finish my eyes, unless I get bored and decide to do something else halfway. So the next thing I'm doing is applying my liquid liner on my eye, and I'm using my Bourjois liquid lip liner. I don't know why I keep saying lip liner, clearly not a lip liner. My liquid eyeliner in black. It's the same one I've been using for like the longest time. It's one of my favourite eyeliners in the world, and it's probably one that I won't stop using for a very long time. I'm really sorry about the acne that's in your face. There's just nothing I can do, and now I seem to be talking to myself. I'm not exactly sure what I was saying, but I'm going to do the same on the other eye, and then I will come back to you because my hand is clearly covering the whole thing. So curling your eyelashes is one of the most important steps in my makeup routine. It's something I do, I would say, not necessarily on a day-to-day basis, but I do it every time I'm doing like a full face of makeup. Now I'm using a Bourjois black mascara. It's a full volume XX X something. It sounds really X-rated, but some sort of XXL, whatever, in black. And I'm coating my lashes with this stuff because honestly it just makes such a big difference, and this is where you can turn like a day look into a night look by just using coats and coats of mascara. And I know some people really like the spidery lashes look, and I would say that's probably this look that this mascara particularly gives. but it kind of depends what look you're going for. But I definitely ended up putting a couple of coats of this on because it just makes everything look really bold and really dramatic and just like pow. I'm using the Maybelline Colossal Mascara to do my bottom lashes with. Bottom lashes is something I only started doing in the last year or so. Before that, I had no idea that bottom lashes were supposed to be covered in mascara. It makes the biggest difference in making small eyes look big. So it's one thing that you will always see me do in any future makeup tutorial. Obviously, as particular, I am just really bad at makeup and it just went all over my bottom lashes. So I had to keep cleaning it up with my finger, but honestly when it does work it looks absolutely amazing, and I would then do exactly the same on the other side. And again, I'm pretty sure from memory I made the same mistake on the other side as well. So absolutely no look is complete with a black eyeliner in the waterline. So this is the black one from Urban Decay from the 24/7 eyeliner pencil line. I'm starting to find mine drying out a little bit. It's not as creamy as it used to be, so I don't know if it's just because it's drying out. The other black liner I really like is one by Rimmel, and I just find that this one seems to, the more it dries out, obviously the harder it is to apply. So it didn't come out that dramatic, but a black eyeliner is always one of those things that just completes a night look or completes a makeup look. For some reason I'm going into some sort of brown eyeshadow again by MAC. I've got really no idea. I must just be blending. Okay, so I'm just blending my eyeshadow out again. Maybe I just wasn't happy with it. I told you, I just go back and forth between makeup things and I touch things up as I go along. I don't really have a procedure for this. I literally just look at the end look and then decide what I want to change. So it looks like I'm just blending out the eyeshadow. Maybe it was just a little bit too harsh, but obviously I wasn't very happy with that. And it looks like I'm just going over the bottom lash line as well and just completing and filling in all the lines. And now I'm just checking myself out in the mirror and I'm obviously getting up to do something. Hang on. Okay, so I really don't know where I've gone, so hang on, let me just find what I'm doing and I'll come back. And I'll always use Fix Plus. That must have been what I went to get. So Fix Plus at the end of every makeup look, because it just makes your makeup stay and last longer. And here I am posing again, just checking out my makeup look. And I think I better sort my hair out, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to change it. Oh, look! And that's it, guys. That's how I created this look. So if you want to see any more stuff, please don't ask for any more tutorials because I'm just not very good at stuff like this. But this is the finished look. I just straightened my hair. I didn't really do anything with it. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.